Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear brothers and sisters, welcome to Words of Allah. In today's video, we'll explore the profound power behind the repetition of a single phrase, Ya Wadoud, and how it can lead to spiritual transformation. Stay tuned and reflect on your own experiences with reciting sacred words. Have you ever experienced a deep transformation from a prayer or mantra? Share your thoughts below. In the fast-paced world we live in, it's easy to overlook the subtle yet profound power of repetition in our spiritual practices. One such powerful practice is the repetition of sacred words, particularly the name of Allah, Ya Wadoud. Ya Wadoud translates to the most loving, or the source of love in English, and it is one of the beautiful names of Allah in Islamic tradition. This name represents not only divine love, but also an invitation to connect with the source of all love. Repetition of divine names, such as Ya Wadoud, has held immense significance in various religious traditions. It's not just about the number of times a name is repeated, but about the deep connection it creates with the divine. Whether through meditation, prayer, or mantra recitation, the act of repetition helps quiet the mind, open the heart, and transform the spirit. As we dive into this topic, think about your own experiences. Have you ever felt a shift in your heart or mind from reciting a prayer or a mantra? Is there a specific phrase that brings you closer to peace, clarity, or love? Reflect on this and share your thoughts with us in the comments below. Before starting this video, don't forget to like this video, because it gives us a lot of strength to continue sharing beneficial content. And I invite you to subscribe to our channel and activate the notification bell to stay informed of our next publications on the Islamic faith. Share it with your loved ones and leave a comment to tell me what you think. Thank you, and good video. What does love mean to you? Reflect on how often you use the word love and what it means in your life. How does it connect to your own spiritual journey? Drop a comment below with your thoughts. Ya Wadoud is one of the many beautiful names of Allah, meaning the most loving or the source of love. It's derived from the Arabic root word wdd, which conveys the idea of love, affection, and warmth. When we call upon Ya Wadoud, we are invoking the divine essence of love itself, the kind of love that is unconditional, boundless, and all-encompassing. It's a love that transcends all human limitations and reflects the purest form of affection and mercy. In Islamic tradition, Allah's love is not just an abstract concept, but a profound reality that is felt deeply by those who seek His presence. The Quran speaks of Allah's love in many verses, such as in Surah Al-Imran 3:31, where Allah says, "Say, if you should love Allah, then follow me, and Allah will love you and forgive you your sins. And Allah is forgiving and merciful." This verse highlights that Allah's love is reciprocal and is bestowed upon those who are sincere in their devotion. Additionally, in a hadith, the Prophet Muhammad, PBUH, said, "When Allah loves a servant, He calls Jibril and says, 'I love so-and-so, so love him.'" This shows the powerful connection between invoking Allah's names and experiencing His love. By repeating Ya Wadoud, believers invite the divine love into their hearts, transforming their inner world and aligning them with the divine presence. The act of repeating this name becomes a way to nurture a loving relationship with the Creator. The power of repetition in spirituality engagement. Directive. Repetition in prayers or mantras can have transformative effects. What has been your experience with repeating words of faith or love? Did it bring peace, clarity, or healing? Share your personal stories in the comments. Explanation. Repetition plays a powerful role in many spiritual practices across the world, providing a pathway for believers to deepen their connection with the divine and strengthen their inner peace. In Islam, the practice of repeating divine names, phrases, or prayers is known as Dhikr, remembrance of Allah. Through Dhikr, a believer is reminded of Allah's attributes and is able to cultivate mindfulness, humility, and gratitude. In Islamic tradition, repeating sacred phrases like Ya Wadoud, the most loving, or Subhanallah, glory be to Allah, helps purify the heart, drawing the practitioner closer to the divine. The act of repetition softens the heart, allowing one to become more attuned to the presence of Allah, while also focusing the mind away from distractions and worries. Repetition, especially with intention, can evoke a deep sense of inner calm, giving a person clarity and direction during times of uncertainty. Beyond Islam, the power of repetition is also seen in other faith traditions.
In Hinduism, the practice of chanting mantras like Om Mani Padme Hum is used to focus the mind and invoke spiritual energy. The act of chanting creates a rhythmic flow, inducing a meditative state that brings about inner peace and connection to the divine. Similarly, in Buddhism, the repetitive chanting of Om is used to center the mind, bring spiritual awareness, and cultivate compassion. Even in Christianity, repetitive prayers, like the Jesus Prayer or the recitation of Psalms, offer a sense of grounding and connection with God. The repetition of these words brings comfort, strengthens the spirit, and creates a sense of community among believers. Across all these traditions, repetition serves as a tool to focus the mind, purify the heart, and transform one's spiritual journey. Repeating words of faith and love helps to root the believer in the present moment, enabling them to experience peace, healing, and a deeper connection to the divine. Have you ever experienced a shift in your perspective or heart after repeating a prayer or mantra? Let us know in the comments. Why 41 times? Engagement directive. Why do you think numbers have significance in spirituality? Do you believe there's power in the number 141? Or do you have a personal experience with certain numbers in your practice? Let me know your thoughts below. Explanation. The number 141 holds a special significance in Islamic mysticism, particularly in relation to the repetition of sacred phrases like Ya Wadoud. In some interpretations, repeating Ya Wadoud 141 times is believed to invoke divine mercy, healing, and closeness to Allah. This specific number is not random. It carries deep symbolic and numerical meaning, especially when you consider the Arabic script. In Arabic, each letter has a numerical value, a system known as Abjad, Arabic numerology. The letters in the phrase Ya Wadoud, add up to a total of 141 when using this system. As a result, the practice of repeating this name 141 times is thought to mirror the numerical value of the phrase itself, establishing a profound connection between the words, their meaning, and their spiritual impact. In Islamic tradition, numbers are often seen as holding spiritual power. For example, the number 7 appears frequently in the Quran and Hadith, symbolizing completion and perfection. Similarly, the repetition of Ya Wadoud 141 times is thought to unlock a higher level of divine love and mercy, as it connects the practitioner with the infinite love and forgiveness of Allah. Moreover, numbers in mysticism are believed to have energetic vibrations, and the repetition of a number like 141 serves as a powerful tool for spiritual transformation. Each recitation of Ya Wadoud 141 times is said to increase the flow of divine love and healing, bringing the practitioner closer to the divine presence. What do you think? Do you feel any spiritual power in the use of numbers in your practice? Share your thoughts in the comments. How repeating Ya Wadoud can transform your heart engagement directive. Have you felt a sense of inner peace or transformation from repeating a mantra or prayer? What changes have you noticed in your heart or mind after consistent practice? I'd love to hear your experiences in the comments. Explanation. The practice of repeating Ya Wadoud, the name of Allah that translates to the most loving, or the source of love, can have profound physiological, psychological, and spiritual effects on the heart and mind. Repetition of sacred words has been a central practice in many religious traditions for centuries, and its transformative power lies in its ability to bring the practitioner into a deep state of connection with the divine. Physiological effects. When we repeat a phrase like Ya Wadoud, we begin to enter a state of deep focus. This process triggers the body's relaxation response, lowering heart rates and reducing the levels of stress hormones like cortisol. As we synchronize our breath with the repetition, we experience a meditative state, which has been scientifically proven to improve mental clarity and emotional balance. Over time, the act of reciting this name consistently can help regulate the body's stress responses, promote relaxation, and even improve overall well-being. Psychological effects. On a psychological level, the repetition of Ya Wadoud helps reframe negative thoughts and creates a sense of peace and mental clarity. The brain's neural pathways are strengthened by repetitive actions, and over time, these pathways become associated with peace, love, and mercy. For individuals struggling with negative thoughts, anxiety, or depression, the practice of repeating divine names provides a sense of comfort and security. Studies show that repetitive practices, such as chanting, prayer, and mantras, can help combat feelings of loneliness and despair. The act of repeating Ya Wadoud 141 times, for example, serves as a reminder of the divine presence of love surrounding the practitioner. It can create a sense of emotional support, knowing that no matter what, the most loving is always near. Spiritual effects. The spiritual effects of repeating Ya Wadoud are perhaps the most profound. At its core, Ya Wadoud is a name that embodies divine love. When we recite this name, we are inviting the infinite love of Allah into our hearts. Repetition opens the heart to receive this love, softening its edges and enabling us to connect with the divine on a deeper level. This love is not just an intellectual understanding, but a feeling that penetrates the soul, nurturing a sense of peace, compassion, and forgiveness within. Spiritual teachers across many traditions emphasize that love is the key to spiritual transformation. In the Quran, Allah says in Surah Al-Furqan 25:70, "Except for those who repent, believe and do righteous work. For them, Allah will replace their evil deeds with good, and ever is Allah forgiving and merciful." Repeating Ya Wadoud reminds the believer of Allah's mercy and forgiveness, opening the heart to receive healing and emotional release. Many individuals who have practiced repeating Ya Wadoud consistently speak of a transformation in their hearts. They describe feeling lighter, more at peace, and more loving toward others. For example, a Sufi mystic might describe the experience of repeating the name of Allah as a form of spiritual purification, where every repetition dissolves negative emotions and increases divine love. Personal anecdotes. One person shared their experience of repeating Ya Wadoud during a difficult period in their life. They felt consumed by grief and anxiety, but upon repeating Ya Wadoud over a period of weeks, they began to notice a subtle shift. The heaviness in their chest lightened, and their heart felt more open to love and mercy. They reported feeling more compassion, not just for others, but for themselves as well. Their fear and worry gradually diminished, replaced by a sense of connection to something greater than themselves. Another individual shared that repeating Ya Wadoud helped them reconnect with their spiritual path. They felt that the constant reminder of Allah's love helped them navigate challenges with more patience and understanding. By focusing on love,
they were able to reframe their thoughts and become less reactive to life's ups and downs. Conclusion. Ultimately, the repetition of Ya Wadoud can transform the heart in remarkable ways. It calms the mind, heals the heart, and strengthens one's spiritual connection to the divine. As you engage in this practice, you may notice shifts in your own heart, feelings of peace, greater love, and even emotional healing. It's important to approach this practice with sincerity and an open heart, allowing the divine love to flow freely within. Have you experienced a shift in your heart or mind after repeating a mantra or prayer? What changes did you notice in yourself? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Scientific basis for repetition and its effects. Engagement directive. Science shows that repetition can change neural pathways. Have you ever wondered how your brain responds to prayer or meditation? If you've felt any changes through repetition, let me know how you've experienced it in the comments. Explanation. The practice of repetition, whether in the form of prayer, chanting, or meditation, is not only a spiritual exercise but also has a significant impact on the brain. Modern neuroscience has begun to explore how these repetitive actions can shape neural pathways, altering our emotional states, mental clarity, and overall well-being. Repetition and brain plasticity. The brain is remarkably adaptable. This concept, known as neuroplasticity, refers to the brain's ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections throughout life. Repetition of any action or thought, including prayer or meditation, strengthens the neural pathways associated with that activity. Essentially, the more we engage in a specific practice, the more entrenched these neural pathways become, making the behavior or thought pattern easier to access and more automatic. When it comes to spiritual practices, such as repeating Ya Wadoud, the most loving, the brain forms stronger connections related to the specific words, meanings, and emotions tied to that practice. Over time, these connections reinforce positive feelings like peace, compassion, and love, reshaping our emotional responses and mental habits. The mindfulness connection. One of the key components of spiritual practices like chanting or prayer is mindfulness, the ability to be present in the moment, focused and aware. Mindfulness practices have been shown to activate the prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for higher-order functions like decision-making, emotional regulation, and empathy. Studies have shown that regular mindfulness meditation can actually increase the density of gray matter in this area of the brain, leading to improved emotional control and a greater sense of well-being. When reciting Ya Wadoud, practitioners often enter a state of mindfulness, allowing them to connect more deeply with the meaning of the phrase and open their hearts to love. This focus can help reduce stress and anxiety by decreasing activity in the amygdala, the part of the brain associated with fear and the stress response. As a result, practitioners may experience a sense of calm, emotional resilience, and greater inner peace. Impact of repetition on emotional and cognitive states. Research has shown that repetitive practices like prayer or chanting can positively affect emotional health. The act of repetition itself can provide a calming, grounding effect. When we repeat words of faith, such as Ya Wadoud, we engage in a process that transcends simple memorization. It becomes a form of cognitive restructuring, where our thoughts and emotions begin to align more closely with the attributes of love, mercy, and compassion. For example, one study by Dr. Richard Davidson, a prominent neuroscientist, demonstrated that experienced meditators had increased activity in areas of the brain related to positive emotions and empathy. This finding supports the idea that repetitive practices, such as prayer, mantras, or chanting, can rewire the brain, enhancing emotional regulation and boosting mental clarity.
Research on meditation and prayer studies on meditation also reveal that the benefits of repetition go beyond emotional regulation. For example, research from Harvard University has shown that long-term meditation practice can increase cortical thickness in areas of the brain related to attention, memory, and emotional processing. This suggests that regular meditation, including practices like repeating Ya Wadoud, could improve cognitive functions like focus and memory, as well as emotional resilience. Additionally, in a study published by the National Institutes of Health, researchers found that those who engaged in regular spiritual practices, including prayer, exhibited greater levels of positive emotions and lower levels of stress. This aligns with the idea that spiritual repetition not only has psychological benefits, but also physiologically supports a healthier mind and body. Connecting to Ya Wadoud. When it comes to the practice of repeating Ya Wadoud, the act of focusing on this phrase, embodying the concept of divine love, can positively impact our neural pathways in a way that promotes peace and emotional well-being. The more you repeat Ya Wadoud, the more you align your mental and emotional state with the qualities of love, compassion, and mercy. Over time, this can help reduce stress, enhance your emotional resilience, and foster a deeper sense of connection to yourself and to others. As we continue to engage in these repetitive practices, we create stronger neural connections that support peace, compassion, and love in our lives. The repeated recitation of Ya Wadoud not only brings us closer to the divine, but also improves our overall mental and emotional health by actively shaping the way our brain processes thoughts and emotions. Have you noticed changes in your brain or emotional state through repetitive spiritual practices? How does repetition affect your mindfulness or sense of well-being? Share your experience in the comments. Spiritual benefits of Ya Wadoud. Engagement directive. What spiritual benefits have you experienced through prayer or dhikr? Can you share a moment where you felt especially connected to the divine? Feel free to comment below and share your journey. Explanation. Invoking Ya Wadoud, one of the names of Allah that translates to the most loving, or the source of love, is a deeply transformative spiritual practice. When we repeat this sacred name, we are calling upon the divine essence of love itself. This act of remembrance, known as Dhikr, brings forth powerful spiritual benefits, including increased patience, inner peace, and emotional healing. By focusing on divine love through Ya Wadoud, we align ourselves with the highest form of affection, compassion, and mercy, ultimately transforming our inner being and our connection to the divine. Increased patience. One of the most profound spiritual benefits of invoking Ya Wadoud is the cultivation of patience. Life is filled with trials, challenges, and moments of uncertainty. But when we focus on the name of the most loving, we are reminded that love is the essence of existence. Allah's love is constant, unwavering, and unconditional. Repeating Ya Wadoud allows us to internalize this truth, leading us to a deeper sense of calm and resilience in the face of adversity. It becomes easier to embrace patience because we know that, no matter the struggle, divine love is always present,
offering support and strength. A person practicing this dhikr often finds themselves less reactive to the stresses of life. Instead of rushing to judgment or frustration, there is a space of understanding and calm that allows patience to take root. This patience is not passive, but a form of active trust in the divine wisdom and timing of Allah. Inner peace. The repetition of Ya Wadoud has a deeply calming effect on the mind and heart. When we recite this name, we are essentially inviting the presence of divine love into our lives, creating a sense of inner tranquility. In the same way that we often seek the comfort of a loved one during moments of stress or sadness, the name Ya Wadoud offers us the ultimate reassurance that we are loved, cared for, and supported by the divine. The peace that comes from invoking Ya Wadoud transcends external circumstances. It's not reliant on achieving a particular goal or resolution. Rather, it arises from the deep realization that we are surrounded by an ocean of love at all times. By consistently turning our hearts to this remembrance, we allow ourselves to enter a state of spiritual serenity, where external chaos no longer disturbs our internal calm. Emotional healing love has the unique ability to heal emotional wounds, and the name Ya Wadoud invites that healing into our hearts. For those struggling with grief, anger, or past trauma, the practice of repeating this name can serve as a balm for the soul. As we meditate on Allah's boundless love, we begin to heal emotional scars and replace feelings of bitterness, fear, or sadness with compassion and acceptance. Spiritual healers often recommend focusing on the name Ya Wadoud for those seeking emotional release. When one sincerely repeats this name, the emotional body begins to open up to the transformative power of divine love, allowing healing to take place on a deep, spiritual level. This love isn't just about external relationships. It is the unconditional love from Allah that helps us heal from the inside out. Many people who practice Ya Wadoud report experiencing a shift in their emotional state. Old emotional baggage is slowly lifted, replaced with feelings of forgiveness, peace, and empathy toward others. This emotional renewal leads to a more compassionate outlook on life, fostering healthier relationships and a deeper connection to the divine. Cultivating love and compassion. Focusing on the name Ya Wadoud also deepens our ability to love and show compassion. Allah's love is the purest form of affection, and by invoking this name, we open ourselves to receiving and expressing this love. It transforms our ability to love others, not only those who are easy to love, but also those who challenge us. The more we connect with divine love, the more we are able to extend that love to others, embodying the qualities of mercy, kindness, and empathy. This transformation in our capacity for love affects all areas of our lives. We become more forgiving, more understanding, and more capable of seeing the good in others. As we repeatedly recite Ya Wadoud, our hearts become fuller and more open, allowing us to reflect divine love in our actions, words, and thoughts. Spiritual awakening and connection to the divine. At its core, the repetition of Ya Wadoud serves as a reminder of our connection to the divine. The name of Allah is not just a word to be recited. It is a portal to a deeper spiritual awakening. Each time we say Ya Wadoud, we open ourselves to a renewed sense of connection to Allah's boundless love and mercy. Over time, this leads to a profound shift in how we view the world, ourselves, and our relationship with the divine. By focusing on divine love, we begin to experience spiritual growth and a closer connection to the Creator. This leads to a more profound understanding of the divine qualities within ourselves, fostering humility, gratitude, and a sense of spiritual fulfillment. The practice of Ya Wadoud encourages us to look beyond ourselves and see the divine presence in every aspect of life. Conclusion: the spiritual benefits of invoking Ya Wadoud are vast and transformative. From cultivating patience and inner peace to experiencing emotional healing and deeper love, this practice opens the heart to divine affection and mercy. It allows us to embrace life with greater compassion, understanding, and forgiveness, reflecting the love of Allah in our daily interactions. What spiritual benefits have you experienced through prayer or dhikr? Have you had a moment where you felt especially connected to the divine? Feel free to share your thoughts and personal experiences in the comments below. Real-life transformations through repetition engagement directive. Do you believe that repetition has the power to change your life?
If you've experienced a transformation, big or small, from repeating sacred words or prayers, share your story with me in the comments. Explanation: the power of repetition in spiritual practices, such as reciting Ya Wadoud, is profound and transformative. Many individuals, from scholars and mystics to everyday people, have experienced real-life transformations, whether emotional, spiritual, or even physical, through the consistent repetition of this sacred name. These transformations are not merely theoretical, they are lived experiences that showcase the impact of divine remembrance on the heart, mind, and body. Emotional and spiritual healing. One powerful testimony comes from a woman who was struggling with overwhelming grief after the loss of a loved one. She turned to the practice of repeating Ya Wadoud in an attempt to find peace amidst her sorrow. At first, she felt disconnected, unsure if the practice would bring any solace. However, as she continued reciting the name, something shifted within her. Over time, the heaviness in her heart began to lift, and she noticed a growing sense of comfort and peace. She described it as though the constant repetition was bringing her closer to Allah's love, healing her emotional wounds and giving her the strength to face the days ahead. This shift in her emotional state was profound and helped her navigate her grief with greater patience and understanding. Testimonial from a mystic one, notable Sufi mystic, shared their experience of repeating Ya Wadoud during a period of intense spiritual seeking. After years of struggling with inner turmoil, they turned to the name of Allah to heal their fractured heart. By repeating Ya Wadoud consistently, they reported experiencing a deep spiritual awakening. The repetitive nature of the practice helped them silence the noise of the world and focus their heart on the essence of divine love. This practice transformed their spiritual journey, bringing them closer to a state of inner peace and enlightenment. The mystic often spoke of how Ya Wadoud became a key to unlocking divine mercy and deep love, shifting their perspective on both the world and their place in it. Physical healing and transformation. The story of an individual recovering from chronic health issues through the repetition of Ya Wadoud is another testament to the holistic impact of this practice. This person was struggling with long-term physical ailments that doctors couldn't seem to resolve. Feeling helpless and searching for solace, they began repeating Ya Wadoud each day, hoping to find comfort in the love of Allah. After several weeks, they reported experiencing a shift in their physical health. The pain in their body gradually lessened, and they felt an overall sense of restoration. While this story may not provide a medical explanation, it illustrates how spiritual practices, through the power of repetition and devotion, can have an impact on one's physical well-being, providing relief, comfort, and healing when other avenues seem ineffective. The transformative power of repetition. Scholars and mystics throughout history have attested to the transformative power of Dhikr, the act of remembering Allah through the repetition of His names. One famous scholar, Imam al-Ghazali, spoke extensively about the effect of divine remembrance on the heart, stating that it acts as a cleanser, purging negative traits and bringing one closer to the divine. The consistent repetition of a name like Ya Wadoud, according to him, nurtures the heart and opens it to divine love, making one more compassionate, patient, and connected to Allah. In modern times, people from all walks of life, whether they are spiritual seekers, people dealing with personal struggles, or those experiencing physical ailments, have embraced this practice and witnessed profound changes. Many individuals have shared how repetitive prayer and dhikr have given them a sense of purpose, healing, and love, and how these practices have allowed them to live more fully in the present moment, with a heart filled with gratitude and peace. Everyday people's stories, even everyday people,
without formal religious training, have found transformative benefits from repeating Ya Wadoud. A man recovering from a painful breakup found solace in reciting the name of Allah, feeling the love and mercy surrounding him, helping him heal from the emotional scars left behind. A woman overwhelmed by the pressures of work and family used the repetition of Ya Wadoud to quiet her mind and find inner peace. With each recitation, she felt herself growing stronger and more patient, able to face life's challenges with a renewed sense of purpose and clarity. Conclusion. These stories from various individuals across the spectrum demonstrate the transformative potential of repeating Ya Wadoud. Whether it's emotional healing, spiritual growth, or physical relief, the power of divine remembrance is undeniable. The act of repetition serves as a bridge between the believer and the divine, opening the heart to love, mercy, and peace.
Do you believe that repetition has the power to change your life? Have you experienced a transformation, big or small, from repeating sacred words or prayers? Share your story in the comments below, and let's continue to explore the transformative power of love through divine remembrance. Practical tips for incorporating Ya Wadoud in daily life engagement directive. How can you integrate repetition into your daily routine? Try saying Ya Wadoud 141 times in the morning or before bed, and let me know how it feels. Will you give it a try? Explanation. Incorporating the repetition of Ya Wadoud, the most loving, into your daily routine can be an enriching practice, bringing peace, love, and spiritual connection to every aspect of your day. By making this practice a consistent part of your life, you open yourself to the transformative power of divine love. Here are some practical tips on how to incorporate this sacred name into your everyday activities. 1. Start your day with Ya Wadoud. One of the most impactful ways to integrate Ya Wadoud into your life is by starting your day with it. As you wake up, before your feet even hit the ground, take a moment to silently or audibly recite Ya Wadoud. You can say it 141 times or as many times as you like. This simple act sets a peaceful, loving tone for the rest of the day. It centers your mind and spirit, helping you feel grounded in divine love as you prepare to face whatever comes your way. 2. Repeat during moments of stress or anxiety. Life can be overwhelming at times, and stress often creeps in unexpectedly. When you feel anxious, frustrated, or overwhelmed, take a few deep breaths and begin repeating Ya Wadoud. The act of repetition will help calm your mind and ease your heart. Focus on the meaning of the name, divine love, and allow it to soothe your worries. You can even create a mental note to repeat this name whenever you feel stressed during the day, such as before a big meeting, after a challenging conversation, or during moments of doubt. 3. Incorporate into prayer and Dhikr time. For those who already engage in regular prayer or Dhikr, remembrance of Allah, repeating Ya Wadoud can be seamlessly integrated into these practices. You might add it to your daily recitations after obligatory prayers or during your own time of reflection. Repeating it 141 times during Dhikr will deepen your connection with Allah's love, and the repetition will become a form of devotion that brings peace and mindfulness to your heart. 4. Use before bed for inner calm. Before going to sleep, reciting Ya Wadoud can be a calming ritual that helps ease your mind and heart. As you lie in bed, repeat the name 141 times or more, focusing on the love and mercy it represents. This practice will help release any negative emotions or thoughts from the day, leaving you with a sense of serenity. It also serves as a reminder of Allah's presence, ensuring that you end your day on a spiritually uplifting note. 5. Mindfulness and presence. When repeating Ya Wadoud, it's important to practice mindfulness. Don't just recite the words mechanically. Instead, be present with each repetition. Focus on the love that the name represents and how it resonates within you. This mindfulness will enhance the spiritual benefits of the practice, helping you connect to the deeper meaning behind the words. You can even repeat it while walking, during your commute, or when doing household chores. Anytime you need to center your thoughts and bring calm to your mind. 6. Stay consistent. The key to experiencing the full spiritual benefits of repeating Ya Wadoud is consistency. Just like any other spiritual practice, the more regularly you engage in it, the more you will start to see its positive effects. Whether you repeat it in the morning, before bed, or throughout the day, maintaining a steady practice will help you cultivate peace, love, and patience over time. It is through this daily dedication that you will begin to notice the deep transformation within yourself. 7. Set an intention. Before you begin your practice of repeating Ya Wadoud, set a positive intention. Whether it's to bring more love into your life, to heal your heart, or to deepen your connection with the divine, having a clear intention will help focus your energy and elevate the practice. Each repetition will then carry with it a purpose, making the experience more meaningful. Conclusion: incorporating Ya Wadoud into your daily routine can be a powerful tool for spiritual growth and emotional healing. By repeating it consistently, whether during prayer, moments of stress, or before sleep, you invite divine love into your life and align yourself with Allah's mercy. The act of repetition becomes a form of mindfulness that brings inner peace, patience, and a deeper connection to the divine presence. How can you integrate repetition into your daily routine? Try saying Ya Wadoud 141 times in the morning or before bed, and let me know how it feels. Will you give it a try? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Closing thoughts and invitation for comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts on how repeating Ya Wadoud 141 times can transform the heart. Do you feel a connection to this practice? What other spiritual practices have helped you experience personal growth? Drop your thoughts below. As we conclude today's video, remember that transformation comes not just from hearing about spiritual practices, but from consistent dedication and intention. Repeating Ya Wadoud 141 times can be a powerful way to open your heart to divine love, cultivate inner peace, and experience profound spiritual growth. Whether you've been practicing this already or are just beginning, the key is consistency and mindfulness. Every time you say Ya Wadoud, you invite Allah's love and mercy into your life, and over time, this practice can bring you closer to a sense of inner calm, emotional healing, and connection to the divine. It's a simple yet deeply transformative act, and I encourage you to make it a part of your routine. Now, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you feel a connection to the practice of repeating Ya Wadoud? How has it impacted your heart and mind? What other spiritual practices have helped you experience personal growth and transformation? Share your experiences below and connect with others in the community. We can all learn from each other's journeys and continue to grow together on this spiritual path. Thank you for being a part of this conversation.